Well, good morning, everybody. It's just turning 10. It's just turning 10, and this will be there'll be lots of time during this session to eat and to socialize and to play. That's the hope. But as you maybe fill a plate and come sit or grab some coffee, we're going to start with a little bit of presentation style, and then we'll let people have all their questions and interacting that you can do around the room it's kind of like a social / forum. Consider this the Shrinemont porch. So go ahead and fill up, and we'll start in just a moment. And you'll be meeting some of them later, but I want to give a shout out to our design team for this beautiful porch social hour and their insight and eagerness in us shaping a weekend that really speaks to this whole community as a way to engage and connect with one another. I'm looking at those 8 o'clockers hoping they come in. I feel like we got to, I know, go grab them. They look like they were almost going to come in. Come on. Come on in. Are we ready? Are we on? Am I actually being recorded right now? Fabulous. That goes on the blooper reel. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Shrinemont Sunday Forum. I don't know if this has happened in the past, but I know it hasn't happened in my very recent memory here at St. Paul's. So thank you for coming and exploring this weekend with us. What today is we're going to give you a little bit of an overview of Shrinemont, the place, and then Shrinemont, our shorthand for our retreat weekend, a little bit about what that looks like. We'll hear a little bit from Natalie, our speaker, and then you'll meet some of our design team, and they're going to give some glimpses into some of the hopes and the offerings that you would anticipate on the weekend. And then, of course, this is truly a taste of Shrinemont. And so you've got food here. The cupcakes are in honor of Shrinemont in terms of our Diocesan Retreat Center's 100th birthday, our centennial year. You'll hear more about that. And then around the room are different areas where the parts of our retreat are praying and playing and connecting and learning. And so there's questions around the room to help us shape a weekend that works for you and to get your ideas and a chance for you to ask questions of the design team rather than sitting here and doing a Q&A. The QR code, whenever you see it, is a direct link to the sign-up form. And if you're not as used to QR codes, you just get out your phone, open your camera. When it pops up as a little yellow box, you click on it, and it takes you right to a form that you can fill in right there and sign up. So we're going to be watching. I'm going to see which design team members get the most clicks on the QR code when they say something that gets you all excited and ready to sign up for Shrinemont. Okay. So Shrinemont, the place. This is our conference and retreat center for the Episcopal Diocese of Virginia. It's located almost beyond our diocesan borders. It's out in Orkney Springs, a community in western Shenandoah County. And when you hike up in the mountains, you really can see into West Virginia. It's about 120 miles from us here, about a 2-hour drive, and it's nearby lots of local attractions. So you can really make a time of this if you want to go down with friends or family and do some exploring. There's caverns, resorts, wineries, golf courses. You're kind of near Skyland Drive, Route 11 chip factory, all these things. Historically, the building that is most familiar to us is really known as the Orkney Springs Hotel. This area was a hot mineral resort back around the 1850s. Think about what you know about people going out and doing some healing in the hot springs. This was a hot springs resort. The oldest building you can see from across the pond, the lake there, is called the Maryland House. It was built in 1853. Some histories say that it became a Civil War hospital for some of the time early on. Others say they can't corroborate that. So that is local lore. I don't know the real truth of that. And it's now some of the bedrooms that we could be staying in. I have stayed with other conferences and retreats where we were using Maryland House. The Virginia House is the big main hotel. You'll see that in a minute. And that was built somewhere in the early to mid 1800s, 1870s. It boasted a ballroom, a grand parlor, and lots of little retiring parlors, billiards, reading rooms. That's now where much of the dining and meeting rooms are, and the big porches where we gather to socialize, particularly going as a church group. And then Pennsylvania House is sort of attached to Virginia House by some covered walkways. That's off in our bedrooms as well, and that's behind that Maryland House there. So that's the Virginia House, the main hotel. And that's a view from the other side of the lake over to Maryland House, the Virginia House, and just connected to Virginia House, Pennsylvania House. There's also some smaller cabins and things that line that area that sometimes we are in, but it's the specific housing, I don't know until closer to the time. It depends on what other groups would be there with us and our housing needs. So there was a cottage purchased on the grounds in 1922 that ended up becoming used for the Diocese of Virginia. And on August 6, 1925, the Cathedral Shrine of the Transfiguration was consecrated. So this is our 100th birthday year of Shrinemont, the retreat center. Hence, again, our birthday cupcakes. And now this hosts parish and individual retreats, meetings, there are summer camps, and local community events. So when we talk about Shrinemont, sometimes we're talking about Shrinemont, the place. Oops. But also, it's shorthand for Shrinemont, our weekend. So a very brief overview. It begins Friday evening dinner, evening gathering and dinner, through Sunday worship and lunch. There's time throughout the weekend for common prayer and worship, common meals, formal programming, planned socials, but also rest and downtime, and choose your own adventure, whether that's something that you want to do in some solitude or finding other people with whom to connect. There's a design team who you'll meet most of us, and we shape this weekend, but the truth is the weekend is really shaped by the gathered community, both in the lead up to Shrinemont, knowing what it is that people are hoping for and seeking, and also what you all bring. Every year is a little bit different because of the interests and the gifts and the conversation and all the joy that people bring. So this is not set in stone yet. This is a weekend that's, for us, shaped by us as a whole group. It is intergenerational, and that means that sometimes we're spending time together across all kinds of generations and demographics, but there are times when we specifically have age-geared programming, and sometimes there'll be things that people self-select by affinity and interest. So it's intergenerational, and also it truly is a place for people to land, depending on your life stage, faith stage, just what you need that particular week. So Friday evening, here's the big porch on the Virginia House. There'll be a pre-dinner welcome. 5:30 is dinner. It's early. It's early for me anyway. And then we'll have some after-dinner evening gathering activities so we can connect and get to know one another, settle in. There'll be evening worship. And then there's time to settle in as people want to on the porches, in the reception area inside, or in your room. You can do stuff like bring a guitar, you can bring a book, you can bring a knitting project, you can bring a journal. This is a place where you can both be with people and take some time apart. Quiet hours around the grounds are 10 o'clock. Saturday is our big day. The print gets smaller. It's a more full day. There'll be some earlier prayerful offerings for those who'd like to get up with the sun and enjoy that. 8 a.m. is breakfast. We'll gather together across our generations for some morning worship, connection, and introducing our theme across the whole community. And you can see there, that was last year. Ross Kane was our speaker for the adults, but we did a interactive activity to get us all prepared before we all broke into groups by age. Then we have that morning programming until about noon where we regather for more worship and lunch in the dining hall. Then there's an afternoon where you can pray, play, learn, connect. There'll be some structured things and also opportunity for unstructured things. 5:30 is dinner again, and then we have some time together in the evening. And again, once it comes night, however you want to rest and connect, quiet hours are at 10. Sunday morning, prayerful offerings, 8 o'clock breakfast. Then we do morning Eucharist, weather permitting, at the shrine. And we sometimes are with other congregations. This is something that changes year to year, again, based on who's there. The specific time is based on who's there. But we will have morning worship, and it can be really glorious. And again, if you're a musician, bring music. We've done collaboration with other churches and had just amazing times out there. Last year, there was a baptism in another congregation, and we got to witness that baptism. Just beautiful. And then I'm hoping that we could do some things on the porch for kids to help relieve parents while they pack the cars. And then 12:30 is lunch and departure. You can take lunch to go. You can eat lunch in the dining hall. And you've got the rest of the afternoon to explore the area. Or just get back, whatever you need to do. Here's some pictures. If you've not been there before, there's a famous hike to the cross on South Mountain. There's that cross. There's also a bigger hike up North Mountain if you are a big hiker. There's places just to play and run around. Kids often, just they run in packs, and it's like we look out for each other like a village. There's a labyrinth to walk. Here are some other places and spaces. The lake, I think it'll be a little early in the season for fishing, but sometimes I've gone later with groups and there's fishing. Don't tell Andrew, there's a couple pictures of him when he's real little. In here, there's like sandboxes to play in. That road leads down to the little town of Orkney Springs, and bring some cash because there's a little weird little store. And you can get funky antiques and stuff, but the kids can get candy for like 5 cents a thing. Like you can take like $5. If you were to take $5, you would have more than your Halloween trick-or-treat bag. It's crazy, but they love it. There's a little bit of independence, right? Just a little bit. They don't know that some of us follow them. None of them are too little in here. You guys all know. Just kind of keep a watchful eye, but it just creates independence, and it's also fun for you. And of course, you can go out beyond the camp and conference center if you'd want and explore some of that local area as well. Here's some more. If you're into walking, meditation, there's paths into the shrine. They have got meditative scriptures around. Going up to the cross, there's the Stations of the Cross. There is that natural labyrinth. Time to just be worshiping in that really unusual shrine that is our cathedral in this diocese. So people say things like, well, what is it like? Well, we do eat in the dining hall. There it is. That must have been the grand ballroom, right? It's buffet style, but we'll have tables designated for our group, so you'll know you can always find someone from St. Paul's. And that's pretty small, but that's a sample menu, and I will say the menus don't change all that much year to year. It's pretty much country food. For some people, it's the draw. For some of us, we bring a lot of snacks and coolers to tide us in between. And it's really okay either way. It's always Sunday fried chicken as that last meal. A lot of times there's meatloaf. They do accommodate dietary needs. So as you register, please let us know. And they do accommodate pretty well. And again, you can always bring a cooler. There's ice that you can get there on site and have food. Okay. And then the lodgings, again, Andrew, don't tell him. There's hardly any pictures of the lodgings, and there's probably a reason. They're pretty rustic. You saw the year that the building was built. I don't know the last time they renovated, but I think the furniture is in there from 1853. But it's sort of like glamping, right? So bring your own comforts. If like a sheet and a blanket and a basic pillow and a towel are not quite your thing, you can pack your car with some other things. That's one of the houses that we tend to stay in down there. So that's from the side. You can see it's kind of like hotels, and the people run along the walkways, and the porch doors slam, and it's got a nice kind of campy feel. But if mobility is a question, the place where we have meetings does have an elevator, and if you would need a room that would accommodate some different needs, there are places that are better than others, and ramps and some differently accommodated rooms. So just again, in the registration, let us know, and we'll make sure we get you to the right spot. It's primarily ensuite bathrooms, unless you're hoping to share. And we, again, up until the time we don't get that floor plan, so if there's ever anything that goes funky if you were to arrive, we'll fix it. It's supposed to be ensuite bathrooms for you and your family or the friends with which you've decided to share. Sometimes families who are bigger will have 2 rooms with a connecting bathroom. They'll maybe put their kids in one room and parents in another and connect. So we try to be creative and do what we can to accommodate based on the rooms that we're given closer to the time. But do bring your own comforts. And then down at the bottom, there's a packing list, essentially, things, snacks and beverages for the social hours. There'd be a sign up, things for yourself, musical instruments, board games to play, recreational equipment if you want to do your own or do a pickup game of some kind of sport that you enjoy, works in progress if you're a knitter or a crocheter or any of that. And always layers, 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 as you know. Any weather. Could be hot, could be cold, could be rainy, could be dry, could be all of those things in one afternoon. Just, you come prepared. Okay. All right. So that's some of the nuts and bolts. I'm going to hand it over now to our retreat speaker.
Hi, everyone. It's great to see you all here. I'm really excited to be speaking and working to help craft the weekend for you all. And I want to let you know that really I'm here to listen today. As Jenny so well said, we are listening and crafting what the weekend should look like based on you, on your ideas. And that's why we have these different I don't even know what you call them, but different poster pages. Thank you. Different pages all around the room. And what I am going to focus on, and is the speaker part in the morning on Saturday morning and part of Saturday afternoon. That's optional. But putting together a talk and some programming around our faith, around what you might be seeking in your lives right now. Maybe you're looking for rest. Maybe you're seeking a deeper connection with God and one another. And that is what this retreat really is about. It's about creating space for you to encounter God, one another, for us to build community. And so I am very grateful to be part of that space. And so please talk to me about that. And as you sign up, and as I continue to listen over the next month or so, I'll be gathering information and also praying about how best to speak the words you might need to hear and the things you might need to explore. We will have an opportunity during the programming session, during the programming for small group activities and for going a little bit deeper, getting to know people so you're comfortable sharing if you want to share. Everything, of course, is always optional, but my portion will be spent helping us to just connect maybe a little bit more deeply with our living God. However, there's another thing that I'll be taking part in, and that is icebreakers. We all have to get to know each other a little bit better so we can feel comfortable. We are St. Paul's. We are a community of God and of Christ. And also, we might not know each other that well. We see each other every week. We say hello. But this, like I said, is an opportunity to go deeper. So I'm going to invite you now to participate in a little icebreaker. It's very minor, I promise, but it does require you to get up if you are able. If you're not able to get up, I would like someone to come and wave, and they can come to you. I would like you to go find one person you might not know very well. You can do it right now. Because one person you might know very well. Like stand up, move around, talk, grab something to eat. Hello. So go find someone you don't know very well. All right, okay, wow. I can see that people like this. Okay, woo, hello. You guys understood the assignment too well. Can you come back here for a second? The Lord be with you. The Lord be with you. Okay, 1 second. You guys kind of got started, but I didn't give you any recommendations about how to go forward. So, apparently you just met somebody. That is fantastic. God calls us each by name. What I would like you to do with the new person or new-ish person is I would like you to tell the story of your name to the person next to you. What is the story of your name? Anyone, first, last, whatever, the story of your name. Share with each other. then my dad was on a business trip at the Kennedy Center, and suddenly he went to the Kennedy Center during the business trip with some like congressman or something. And right before he fell asleep at the ballet, which is something my dad would never want to do, right before he fell asleep, he like noticed that the ballerina's name was Natalie, or Natalia, I think. And so he actually called my mom through a payphone and said, if it's a girl, it's me. And then when I was born, I was born in July 15th, I have a child, and so Natalie means birth. So they call her Christmas in June. I know, it's so sweet. Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I was wanted the gift after one, but you know, it's so funny. So that's it. That's the story. Such a fantastic job. Yeah, I think we'll just do everybody faces and names, and then just let people socialize, which they clearly are. I know, I did. They always sort of talking. I was like, all right. I'll let him have another minute or two. Thank you. This is fantastic. You did such a great job. I know. Yeah. I hope it gives people enough of our feel for it. I think you did a great job at that. I was like, well, she's hitting all the bases. So yeah. So very good. Thank you. Starting to go down. But everybody's, nobody is, they're all still talking. This is what they crave, so good sign. And we got a nice number of people today. I'm actually really, the 8 o'clock crowd was like, we have work to do. I was like, I'll give it another minute, like they're having a good time. This is great. Good. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, okay. Let me try really loud. The Lord be with you. The Lord be with you. Hey, I'm glad to hear we have so much to say about our names. That's pretty exciting. I just have time for one or two. Are there any really surprising, entertaining, intriguing name stories anybody wants to share about the person that you spoke with? No? They're all pretty standard. Okay, Oren.
My new friend comes from a long line of sheep stealers.
Not you personally. Yet. So, very good. Any other stories or anything just that was striking? Maybe you had a connection. Maybe you had the same name. I don't know. Anybody else? All right, well, this is just one of the ways that we are going to model connecting with one another, getting to know each other so that we can more deeply be community and more deeply be with our God. All right, I'll pass this over. Oh, Fiona.
Okay, here we go. All right, thank you. Last year was our second year at Shrinemont. We went, first of all, when the kids were really little. Now, can you stand beside me a second? She is no longer really little. She's now taller than me. So one of the things we'll be doing is offering, I think I'm not really talking about the prayer so much as the other stuff. It's all good.
But these things are all interconnected. And so it's hard to speak about one without the other, but I had asked the design team to say some things that they're excited to potentially offer, and you'll have some faces and names and maybe get your own ideas from it too.
So last year, really early, we got up at 7 a.m. and we did Pilates and yoga, kind of a cross mix of the two. And it was really only the teenage girls that got up with me, but we had fun. It was really just hard to keep them quiet, but it was fun. We did that. So we'll be offering a fitness class, sort of a Pilates or yoga inspired class. So bring your mats with you, please. I've only got, how many have I got? 5? I can buy some more. But bring your mats with you if you want to do that. And then we definitely love doing music. So if you've got an instrument, I know John's going to bring his guitar. I brought my baran last year and some other percussion instruments. If you sing, bring your voices, bring your willingness to share music. And yeah, we just have a really great time. The kids, as you mentioned, they sort of run in packs, and it's so fabulous. Isla Rose met Lucy last year and they became friends. We don't go to the same service. So that's one of the things I really enjoy is meeting people from different services. We are always not always at the 9 a.m. service. When we come, we're at the 9 a.m. service. We don't always get here, but that's the service we come to. So it's really lovely to meet people from the 5 p.m. or the 8 a.m. or the 11 a.m. services. So those are some of the things we'll be doing. That's you.
Hi, Deb Outlaw here. I've been going to Shrinemont for probably over 30 years in different lives, and I have never done a children's event. So my role up here is to let you know that there's a lot more of, to me, interesting things to do. I love the opportunity for an extended adult forum where you can really dive into a topic, maybe do small groups, have a lot of discussions in the afternoons. Some of us would go to wineries or antiquing or porch parties at night were just wonderful, and unlike many, I love the food. So fried chicken once a year, I go for the fried chicken and the pecan pie. But mostly to me, it's a great place to meet people, and I'm relatively new here, and I don't know about y'all, but when you walk out the front door, unless the weather's nice, it's easy to just keep on walking. And so I think this is a great way to disconnect and get to know your neighbor. So I would encourage anybody of all ages to come, and I want to do Pilates, so.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Meredith Forbes, and last year was my first time going to Shrinemont as an adult. I had been as a kid, and went really just hoping to get to know some more people at St. Paul's. Similar to what Deb said, it's easy sometimes to walk out the door and, you say your hellos, but if you're someone who's really interested in getting to know people a little bit better, I think St. Paul's is really, really great for that. I also am going to bring my family, which includes 2 little people, so in the afternoon I'm going to be interested in hosting some kind of opportunity for parents of small children to connect and maybe do some fun activities together, but just really a chance to get to know fellow parishioners. So I hope that you all can come.
Hi, I'm John Slattery. I'm just here to say what everybody else already said, which is that I really so last year was the first time that we came as a family to Shrinemont, and really appreciated the chance, one, to meet people from other services, because we go to the 5 o'clock, which is a very nice and quiet service, especially for our teenagers. But it's really nice. I think Ross led the conversations last year, looking forward to you leading them this year. It was nice to be able to dive into a text together to talk about our faith and have some things that we don't often have here on a regular weekly basis, diving deeper, getting to know people, and being able to talk about your faith with a couple of same people over the course of the weekend. So really appreciated that aspect of everything. So, all right, thanks. Oh, one more thing. Here you go.
If you are someone that loves to be connected to your device, it's probably not the place for you. I got there and I was trying to send a photograph to one of my friends, and it did not go until Sunday afternoon on the way home. So just be aware that you will have limited connection, which I think is a blessing. That my kids can unhook or unplug is delightful. And I'll also reiterate, bring your own pillow. If you have otherwise you'll be doing Pilates with me every day and continuing down here on King Street for the foreseeable future.
As I zoomed through that logistics slide, I didn't name out loud that we do bring our beloved caregivers with us to Shrinemont. So particularly during the morning program and potentially during some other afternoon things, depending on what happens when we work out with them in advance, they're there to do the child care for the infants and littles under 3. So there's just a lot of ways that you can connect and rest. Okay. All right. So here it is. Some details about the pricing structure. We almost want to have a household cap so that if you hit that, please email Mariah. There's a discount code. Sign up by March 1st. There will be some wiggle room, but the bulk of the signups, if we can get them in, I've got to have final numbers in by March 4th. So I want to make sure I'm very, very close with that. So sign up this week. And please share this with friends. We can send the link out for our forum today. It's been in the bulletin. But if you'd like to go and would like to see people that you'd like to connect with more or bring into the life of St. Paul's, please feel free to invite them. This is a wonderful way to connect in. So again, happy birthday to Shrinemont. We have our indoor porch social now. Please come and enjoy the food. You can visit around at each of these areas to pray, play, connect, and learn, and find out some more from the members of the design team. We have the pages up here to get your input. Some of it's specifically about the weekend, and some is just more what is on your heart and mind to help us have a way to read what it is that we might need to do together when we're on retreat. And as you do that, I'm going to play a video that was prepared for the Shrinemont Centennial by folks to do with the Camp and Conference Center. I can't take credit for the video. And please, cornhole, meet and mingle, share more stories. We can't wait to see you at Shrinemont.
Together, arms in a line. We kept it together. All our feet were kicking time. You told us your secrets over last night's flame. We listened, we cried. We'll keep those secrets safe deep inside. I love this place. I love you. You woke me from a daydream.